So good morning, good afternoon, and greetings of the day to everybody. Welcome back to our channel Proper Tech. And in that we upload videos related to webinars, related to softwares, related to tips and tricks related to either Android or Windows. So in this video, we'll be dealing with how to design, how to assemble the different components of an IC engine, a theoretical IC engine, that will be basically which we are dealing with, because a real life IC engine will be quite complex and it will be difficult for people who are new to NX and people who are trying to learn NX to get to and make them understand it. And so basically we will be starting with the theoretical part, theoretical IC engine, just for the sake of easiness and just for the sake of that all the concepts in assembly, in geometry, in modeling, and in drafting are covered as much as possible. Okay, so let's start. So this is an IC engine which I have made, a simple IC engine which consists of a fixed pin, the thing which is fixed, a connecting pin. A connecting pin is connected with the crank is connected to the connecting rod with the help of a connecting pin of the same diameter, and the diameter of the pin of the hole on the other end of the connecting rod has been reduced so that a new type of connecting pin can also be made, and just so that two or three more concepts can be understood just for the sake of that. And then we have the piston. I'll just rotate it, and also you can see that the clamp, the fixed pin has been clamped on the body or on anything which might have been either on the body of the vehicle or on the frame, if for a demo purpose, with the help of hexagonal screws. Okay, so this is something, and now we come to the connecting rod which is connected to the piston with the help of connecting pin, and the piston has some seal rings. There are like basically one or two seal rings are required. One is for the oil seal and second is for the pressure, so that the pressure does not escape. And these seal rings are inserted in the grooves which are by default present in the piston by the manufacturer, and then comes the cylinder. So we have made the cylinder in a sectional view, in a bisectional view, just for the sake of understanding. So I'll show you as to how this IC engine will work if all the assembly constraints are placed in their proper position and in their proper designations, etc. So this IC engine works exactly fine. As you can see, this we will start with the suction stroke. This is the suction stroke, and then compression, and now ignition, and the clearance volume is always maintained. Then after ignition it will have a power stroke, and after the power stroke it will again exhaust, and after exhaust it will repeat the cycle of suction stroke and so on. So this is an IC engine assembly which has been properly constrained so as to achieve the desired motion. You can see that only the things such as pins, crank, connecting rod, the piston is moving, and you can see that the piston seal ring is properly positioned with the piston even in the midst of motion. And you can see that the cylinder does not rotate or does not slide anywhere. It is fixed, and you can see that the fixed pin also does not rotate anywhere. You can see that by selecting cylinder, and we'll try to move it. As soon as we move it, you are trying to move fixed component. Are you sure? So it will give you a dialog box. If we try to select our connecting pin and we try to move it, so you can see that the connecting pin will not move in this direction, that is along about x-axis, neither it will rotate about the y-axis, yc. it will only rotate about this axis. Sorry, it will only rotate about this axis, y-axis. I'm sorry about that. It will only rotate about y-axis. It will not rotate about this axis, and it will not rotate about this axis. Okay. And if we try to move it, it will not move. It will move only with the condition that it is placed properly between the crank and the connecting rod. And if we take for this connecting pin, this one, it will move if it is placed accordingly between the crank and the fixed. Okay. Okay. So this is the assembly. So this is basically a series of 3 videos. The first video, that is this video, consisted of the overview, and the second video will consist of the drafting and modeling, which will include geometrical constraints and dimensional constraints related to each and every component. And the third video will include the assembly constraints and the concepts. And finally, the series will be over, and there will be a bonus video later on that how to install Siemens NX CAD in a Windows system, laptop or PC. For those who do not have, do comment in the comment section if you want such a video to be released earlier, or I will release it at the designated time within a week or 2 weeks. Okay, so let us start with the next video related to drafting and modeling of each component.